How's it going, everybody? I am Chris. I'm a love and confidence coach, and today I'm going to go over a very common situation and give you a slightly different perspective on things so you are able to go through your life a little bit happier and a little bit more fulfilled in all of your relationships. Okay, so we have a typical scenario. Somebody with a lot of past trauma accidentally hurts this person. It could be from anything. Maybe it's from neglect. Maybe they did something that they didn't mean to and they hurt this person emotionally. So this person is in a lot of pain. And it sucks, and we've all been there. This was me last week. So feeling very hurt, and I said things like this, you don't understand me. Very common thing when somebody hurts us emotionally. I didn't say that out loud, but I'm thinking this, right? You're not validating my pain, right? This is another thing we say. And another thing is, we basically say, you are not behaving in a way that makes me happy. If you change your behavior, I'll be happy. And you are responsible basically for my happiness, and you need to change your behavior. Otherwise, I'm not going to be happy, right? So these are very typical things we say. And I know when I say it like that, it sounds a little bit different. Is this person, myself last week, is this pain valid? Definitely. Did this person hurt me? Yes. Did they mean to? Absolutely not, right? So we have different reactions to this, right? One thing we could do is we become cold and closed off. Why? Because we want this person to know that we are suffering pain. So this person unintentionally hurt us. That's the pain going here. And now what we've done in return is we've actually intentionally hurt them. Why? Because we want them to know that we are suffering, right? By being cold, by being standoffish, by being controlling, right? So when we look at it this way, it's interesting how we all responded sometimes to unintentional pain. We actually respond in a triggered way with intentional pain. And that doesn't sound very good, right? When we are reacting in this way, we know one thing. We know that the pain has transferred to us, and we know that we are holding on to it and not able to release it. What is the solution? Our solution is to heal this. So we come up here, independent of what that person does, right? So in this situation, because I'm going to put myself in that situation, I was making my happiness, my health and happiness, which is up here, dependent on this person. Dependent on this person to understand. My happiness was dependent on this person not validating my pain. My health and happiness was dependent on them behaving in a way that I find acceptable. Well, and when you say it like that, it's like, well, that's crazy. If we are always looking for other people to validate our experiences and validate our pain, how are we ever going to become happy? Imagine, say, if this was a hit and run accident. Are we ever going to get that person to validate our pain? Are we ever going to get that hit and run driver to understand us, or behave in a certain way that we find acceptable? No. So what does that mean? We're just never going to be happy? Of course not. What does that mean? It means if we prioritize our health and happiness, it does not matter what this person does. Right? Independent of them, it won't matter. If we want to be healthy and happy, our goal is number one, is to heal. So this involves not not intentionally harming somebody, right? Instead, having the goal of happiness instead of harming somebody else or being closed off. Our goal should be happiness. What happens most often is we forget, this fucking easel, we forget what our goals are. Instead of our goals being health and happiness, we start having a goal when we're triggered of wanting that person to understand us. That becomes our main priority. We want them to feel our pain. We want them to validate our pain. What I want you to realize is that it's an inefficient goal. It's a meaningless goal. Can that build your relationship closer? 100%. But that person, why did he do that in the first place? Why did she do that in the first place? It's because they had past trauma that they were unaware that they were even doing it. So what we're doing is we're basically penalizing and judging somebody that's had a life full of trauma, right? And we're judging them and humiliating them, whatever we are doing, being cold to them in hopes that that method is going to somehow awaken them and understand us and validate us and behave in a way. And all of a sudden we're going to be happy. It doesn't matter what they do. If our goal is not health and happiness, independent of them, we're never actually going to grow to the level of being healthy and happy. Does that make sense? Does that mean that person did no wrong? Of course they did wrong. That's fine. But we don't necessarily owe it to them to tell them. We're doing them a favor. If we want our relationship with them to grow, yeah, they probably will have to recognize it. But what we get trapped in is we lose focus of what our number one goal should be if we want to be happy. And we lose that. We start having our goal of making other people suffer, right? And how we become cold and how we become distant. That means we're holding on to that pain instead of releasing it, right? And so what does that mean? It means that we are starting to exhibit the same characteristics of the same thing that we are accusing them of, right? They exhibited pain on us because of their past trauma. And now that we have past trauma, we're putting it out back into the world. So how are we any better than them, right? But we walk around with our head up high. Oh, I'm better than them. They made a mistake. They owe me because they hurt me and they're going to feel the same way. No, you are going to be stuck in your same pain cycle and just be spreading that hate among all the people around you unless you make your goal, health and happiness, independent of what anybody else thinks. I'm not excusing the behavior of people that hurt us. I'm saying that if we rise above that, it won't matter what they do. We can move on and live healthy and happy lives without being closed off, without being cold-hearted, and without resorting to behaviors that are actually intentionally hurting people, which is kind of bad, right? Love you guys.